Hey everybody, welcome back to our video. It's been such a long time since I've seen you on camera and I'm super excited that you're able to join me today. I am this weekend just about to start making some good traction on my small garden. Since I am in this space, hopefully for another year, but definitely over the summertime, I've decided that this is a good time to start working on my outdoor small space urban apartment garden. And I didn't want to get anything too involved as my first year starting out. I wouldn't say I'm completely like zero experience gardening, but this is the first time I'm doing it on my own and also in a small space. So what I'm going to be showing you today, before I get everything dirty and messy and really like get in there, is most of the tools, the containers and things like that I've purchased in order to start my garden arrangement. What I've done is I'm going to put up, or actually I have already bought some IKEA shelving, which I'm going to use as plant risers. And on those plant risers, I'll be doing a lot of container gardening. If you live in an apartment, it's really important, of course, to make sure that when you're watering and things like that, it doesn't leak onto the person who lives below you, just out of courtesy, and just be really thoughtful of that. So I went and purchased quite a few things. Since I'm kind of starting from scratch, I didn't really bring all that anything over from my parents' place when I moved in terms of like garden stuff. They gave me one planter, which I have some spring onions in that my mom had kind of set up for me. But anyways, we'll get into that in a future video. But I want to show you some of the things I bought. Most of these things are actually from the dollar store, even though they may cost more than $1. Most of the time I do go to Dollarama. If you are on the West Coast, or especially in the Vancouver Lower Mainland, you may be familiar with that store. They do really good seasonal things, and especially during the summer they have a whole bunch of gardening tools and bits and bobs and stuff like that. So from Dollarama, I picked up just a large variety of planters and tools, but I think we'll start with the tools just to get them out of the way. I have all my tools in this coated metal. It's technically also a planter that hangs over a railing, but for now I've just got all of my digging and planting tools in here. I got 3 different kinds of tools for planting, and these are all from Fiskars. Now sometimes at Dollarama you will be able to find brand name products at a pretty decent price. I believe these were $2 each, and they are made of fiber. It's called a fiber comp material, so I gotta read a little bit more into that, but they were metal ones, and they were also these lightweight ones, which is called the fiber comp from Fiskars. So I did get these. I got a trowel, which looks like so. I've got it's called a cultivator. I'm going to call this a rake for loosening up your soil. And then I also purchased, they're calling this a soil scoop, and I think this will be really important when I'm trying to get soil out of those big large bags when you buy potting mix or potting soil, stuff like that. So they all kind of live in this container, and that has been really helpful. Just keep everything together and sorted. All right, next things I got were things for planters and whatnot. I bought these. They're from the brand Schmidt, and it is called flower pot liners, and they come in a pack of 3. They are said to be made out of coconut fibers, which is interesting. It has quite a rough texture, and I can see what they mean by coconut fiber. So the surface looks like the surface fibers of a coconut, if you've ever seen them at the grocery store out and about. So these you can use to line the bottom of your planters. They're showing this for hanging planters, but because I have certain flower pots, I want to make sure they're well draining. So I'm going to see if I can use some of this in some of my container pots for planting. And these were $2.50 for 3. Ooh, they're kind of fluffy. Okay, next things I got. This came in a pack of 3. These are the Plant It 8-inch diameter. What are these? Kind of plastic plates, if you have planters that have pots that have holes on the bottom for drainage, you put this underneath that just to make sure the water doesn't you know, seep onto the balcony, or worse yet, onto the person who lives underneath you. Another thing I bought also for lining some of my planters is this, also from the Schmidt brand. I just love saying Schmidt, sounds really fun. Schmidt Weed Control Fabric. So this was $2.50 at Dollarama for quite a large piece. They kind of describes this as being used for lining large areas and then having your plants poke through them so that weeds don't grow anymore. So you weed the whole place first, you put this on, you cut a little hole, you put your plants in there, and then it will make sure that weeds don't come out. However, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use this to line the bottom of planters. There's quite a large piece of this. This is like 5 meters by 1 meter in size. Moving on to some planters that I purchased. I wasn't absolutely certain how space was going to be arranged in my outdoor area, so I went with, I would say, relatively small to small medium-sized planters. And again, all of these did come from Dollarama. I'll try to give you pricing where the sticker is still on there. What I really like about a lot of the Dollarama planters is that you can find ones that come with a drip tray on the bottom. So this one, for example, was $2. It is a 6.5 inch by 7.25 inch size planter, and there are some drainage holes already on the bottom of this portion, and then the split portion on the actual bottom is does not have holes and actually can hold a little bit of water when you are watering, and it just make sure it doesn't flow everywhere. So I like that it comes already with a bottom tray. So I was also looking at how to color coordinate my outdoor situation. I decided to go with a lot of blues and shades of blue. It is one of my favorite colors, if you haven't noticed. And then some of these just come in a generic brown, so I went with that as well. So this, something of this size, was $2. Comes with a bottom tray, like I said. This size is a little wider, and I was thinking, at least the mouth of it is a little wider. These are $2.50 each, and they also come with the bottom drip tray, just kind of attached, but you can separate them if you really want to. And it's a little flimsier, and by the way, all these are plastic. I'm thinking for something like this, I could plant either some like leafy greens, or you can probably even do some small size carrots in here because they are quite deep. So I got them in 2 different colors. I'm not showing you every single one, but I got a couple of each, the dark navy and the brighter blue, which I really like this color combination. Then the larger ones, let's talk about these guys. So these are more for you know, planting things that need a bit more space. So they're not quite as, they're not as long as some of the other rectangular size planters you might be familiar with that they sell in the stores. It does have this trapezoidal shape and it tapers to the bottom. I may use this for flowers, or I may use this for vegetables. I haven't quite decided, but I did get 2 of them. These are quite sturdy, and again, also plastic, but quite a good size. There's no price on, oh yes they are. These are 16 inch by 8.5 inch, and they are $3 each at Dollarama. So planters can get quite expensive, so I'm really excited that I was able to get these. And you may be wondering why the plastic over anything else. Just for the ability to store them if you want to put them away, and just for moving them around. I think depending on how you treat them, the plastic should last pretty decently over the months or maybe even years. The last portion of this video, I'm really excited to show you the plants and the seeds that I already purchased. I was going to make this a separate part of the video, like the organic live stuff, but let's just throw it all in together. I hope that you don't mind. Why don't we start with this one that's kind of in your face right here. This is a pot of lavender that I purchased. I really wanted some flowers as well as some vegetable options. And lavender was something that I had heard survives really well in the heat and in the full sun. So my balcony is sun facing, and it gets, you know, when the weather is good and there is sun out, it gets a full day of sun. So anything I have out there needs to be really hardy. And even though I will be watering them often, you still just want to make sure it's a good environment for them and the plants are suitable. So I did buy this pot of English lavender. It's not properly potted in this pot yet. I just have the little garden, the ones you get from the garden store, just put into the larger planter for now. And I was really uncertain between like their Spanish lavender and English lavender and French lavender. I was just sniffing all of them and trying to find one that I thought had a great fragrance and scent. So this is what it ended up with. So we got ourselves some English lavender. Now, if you know these and are familiar with lavender, let me know, how long do they bloom? Like, do they come back every year? I try to look for some info, but there's just so much out there that it's hard to weed through and really understand if you were more of a beginner with this kind of stuff. Some of the other things I have, I'll show you. I also bought a little pot of rosemary, and rosemary is great for potatoes, for if you're doing grilled chicken, all that kind of stuff. And you just kind of go by smell. These smell great. There are, again, many varieties of rosemary. I bought one that just called Speedy Rosemary. Apparently it grows really fast. And all these kind of Mediterranean plants are supposed to survive fairly decently in the heat. And of course, no herb garden is complete without having some basil. Now, I am still learning how to prune my basil. I see there's a couple of sad leaves here. I gotta trim them. How to prune my basil so I don't kill it or over pick it, but still have it grow. I gotta do some more research and some video watching. But I have actually quite a variety of basil in my hands right now. So this is the one just from the garden store, and these are the Genovese basil from, I presume, the Genevan variety, and this is the one that's usually recommended in cookbooks. So I do have a little one of this. And then, because Mom is awesome and she's been gardening for quite a while, she received a couple of basil plants that her friends had gifted to her from the farmer's market, and they were different varieties. Now, she's not great in English, so she just kind of labeled them by the way that they looked. So she gave me some purple basil seeds, and then she also gave me some green basil seeds. And these are so aromatic and so fragrant, these seeds. I wonder if you can actually cook with basil seeds. I'm not sure. But I'm going to be planting some of these two varieties as well. And then the third and last kind of live herb is currently not looking very much alive. This is my sage, and I've never grown sage before. They're supposed to be hardy, I think, but they're either getting really wilted because I'm not watering them enough. Like, I don't know how much to water them. I think maybe I should be watering them more rather than less. I try to water them often, but again, I left them out for a day by going to work, and now they're wilted again. So I'll need to go and water these and put them in the shade for a little bit, and hopefully they'll come back. So poor sage. If you're good with growing sage, please let me know what I'm doing wrong. And yeah, that one is just a little fickle. Alright, last things I want to show you are the seeds I purchased, because I still wanted to grow some things from seeds. Not only are they cheaper, they're just, you know, a bit more fun to watch them sprout and then grow and then all of that stuff, instead of buying them in the pre-sprouted seedlings. So I bought from two brands of seeds. One is West Coast seeds. This is very popular and a bit more expensive. I have a pack of the dwarf style bok choy seeds. So they're in here. This was like $3.19. These are the dwarf variety, so they will grow nicely in planter pots and they don't get too big. So I'm excited about these guys. Some greens. And then I also bought from Pacific Northwest seeds, and these are overall a bit cheaper. They're like $1.99 each. I got some butter crunch lettuce as an option. I also got these are called the Bloomsdale long standing spinach. There were many varieties of spinach and I wasn't quite sure what I was looking for, so I went with the ones that looked most similar in the picture to the ones I would usually buy at the grocery store, and this is what I came out with. So spinach right here, and this will grow really nicely in a pot. I got some baby finger carrots, so these are little itty bitty carrots, and I think they will grow just fine in some of my deeper planter pots. Then I got 2 varieties of flowers. I did want to give a try at planting flowers. I have here the Unwin's Dwarf Hybrid Dahlias, and I love dahlias. I think they're like a really awesome, really beautifully, naturally designed type of flower, and these are dwarf hybrids, so I'm hoping they won't grow too large, but again, I've never grown flowers, so this is going to be total experimentation. I also bought a pack of what's called Polka Dot Mix Bachelor Button. Seems like a very interesting name for the type of flower. And yeah, so both of these are supposed to be full sun. Doesn't take too long to sprout and grow, so fingers crossed for flowers, and I hope that they turn out well. And by the way, if you're curious, I keep all of my seeds in these really inexpensive IKEA bins, so I can put a lid on it. It does come with a lid if you buy them, and put them inside the house, and they're just fine. They don't look too gardeny, if you will. They just kind of blend in with the background. So that is my garden haul. I hope you really enjoyed this, everyone, and I'm so glad to be able to share this with you. I hope you're excited if you are gardening yourself as well. We just got into the first day of summer not so long ago, so this is prime time. I'm actually a little bit behind in my planting, and I'm excited to actually dig into the soil this weekend and start potting some of these babies. So I will see you next time. Leave any questions and comments down below. Let me know what you are growing, and I love to chat with you. Until next time, take care. Bye.